Hi guys, and we are into another session on charts. Now, charts is a very important part of any research report or financial model because most of the time you're not able to present the model directly, but finally the results, right? And now uh, it's practically impossible to present the entire model one by one, each and every sheet. So it's a good idea to have a tool which is basically charts, which you can use to summarize your results, right? So we're going to be covering three kinds of charts presently, but there are many more options which are available. But we will stick to three major charts which are possibly the maximum amount of usage, and hence let's get started with axis charts. Right now, what is an axis chart? So axis chart, if you see the data carefully, we've got years out here. So one aspect of the data is having years in a certain axis. You've got sales data, which is given here. Then you've got profits, and then you've got the profit percentage. Right now, in the earlier versions of Excel, it was a challenge to create an axis chart because you have to actually rearrange the data in a certain manner to be able to present all of this in one chart, right? But now, since the Excel versions have become more smarter, what you could do is you just select the data, you click on insert, you go to recommended charts, all right? And if you see here, the first recommended chart itself has understood your data well, and then has given you the clustered column recommendation. But if you see closely, it has already created those two axes, right? So if you see to the left, you've got your sales figure. To the right, you've got your profit percentage, and the green part that you see out here is basically the profit percentage, right? So all the three data automatically presented in your chart, right? So it is very easy to present such a four data points in one chart, right? So if you see here, you're able to present sales, so how much sales happened for a particular year. You're able to show the profit, how much profit was made in a particular year, right? And then at the same year, you can clearly see that the profit percentage was about 27%, right? All in one chart, right? So that is axis chart. Now, earlier this used to be a pretty painful task because you had to actually go and do certain changes in the background, select the axis, right, and format the axis. Nowadays, the Excel, versions after 2016 have become very smart, so you can just directly put in the data, and most of the cases it will give you a good recommendation, right? Now the second chart which is pretty useful is the radar chart. All right, now radar charts are useful when you're trying to show a certain work which has been completed, right? The status of your work, right? For example, if you see out here, the data is represented on the construction benchmarking, right? As in how much construction has finished, right? And you're trying to compare it with a benchmark number. So this was the target and this is the actual result, right? So what you can do is you can just select the data, you go to insert, right, and you go to click on recommended charts. Now here obviously the recommendation is not correct, so click on all charts. You go down and you will see a section called as the radar chart, right? And you just click on that and you press OK. Now you can click on different versions of it, but now you see, for a person to understand your work status, it's pretty easy to understand right now. If you look at this data, uh, you can clearly see that the lighting part of the construction has been completed to quite some extent, right? And if you see out here, somewhere around 12%, forgive me, 35% is what you have almost completed, and your target was about 50%, right? So it's very easy to understand. And now if you see here, if you just try to infer, you don't see much progress happening on the civil work side, right? Because it's totally empty. Nothing has been done in the parking area section. Air conditioning is still pretty in the initial stages. But if you see, the glass facade section has been completed to a lot of extent, right? So in fact, if you're way ahead of your targets, right? So this is a useful chart type if you are trying to show target versus the actual result, right? It's also called as a radar chart, right? Let's go to the next chart, which is the waterfall chart. And waterfall charts are pretty useful when you're trying to present a series and a level, right? uh, for example, if the example which we have given here is different types of cost, right? So if let's say somebody told you to present the total funding requirement of your project, right, you could obviously show a simple chart wherein you're saying that, okay, capital expenditures are going to be $52,815, labor cost is going to be $15,558, and consulting and pre-development respectively, right? So the total funding requirement is about $87,079. Now you could just show an entire breakup by using a normal chart. For example, just let me give you a example. You could just present it in this way also, right? So just select these two columns and go to insert, and if you just select a normal clustered column chart, it gives you this kind of a chart, right? But obviously, although this does the job, but it's not very creative. uh, what you could do instead is to take the entire chart, right? And now, how do you structure this chart to show you a waterfall chart is to first create a cumulative number out here, right? So if you see here, uh, till this value, till base values of till labor cost, what is your total cost? So it's about 52,815, right? The next value, if you see, is 52,000 plus 15,350. You're just trying to accumulate the cost till now, right? And after that, you've got your pre-development. Till pre-development cost, you've got about $78,573, and after that, the last number of 8,506 gets added to that, and you have the total funding requirement. Now, a good way of presenting this data is to actually use a waterfall chart. Now, again, this used to be a manual thing in previous versions, but now it's pretty simple. You can go to all charts and you'll see a waterfall section, right? And there you go. So much more cleaner, and it's very easy to interpret this chart, right? So if you see here, what you're basically trying to say, if you had actually just put in this chart out here, would have been that 52,815 was your initial cost. Then you took if you add consulting fees, till consulting fees your cost was this much, and then till pre-development it was $78,573. So wonderful chart. It's also called as waterfall chart, right? And we will give you an exercise at the end of this uh, class, which will be known as the charts assignment, in which we will not tell you which chart to use, okay, because that will be more of a discretion on you, how you want to present. There's no right or wrong, but we'll grade you on your thinking capacity, right? So I'll see you next in the class, and hopefully you are able to do that assignment. Thank you for watching.